stars from Hollywood and from all over the world to entertain you on a giant screen with a few colorful motion pictures you've been hearing about and reading
It's
about.
showtime, folks. Enjoy the show.
We're delighted to have you with us. They're driving theater.
You'll find something to please you to add to your evening's enjoyment.
Is pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
Good evening, everybody. It is another Monday night. It is August 19th. Can you believe it's already August?
Yeah.
What? That's insane.
It's been hot enough, man.
I'm over it. You're tuned into the Drive-In Speaker Box. I am your host, Bo, the Boom Operator.
I am Slick Doggy the Grip.
And thanks for tuning in to our podcast. We are broadcasting this live Monday night every 8 o'clock Central Standard Time over on Twitch or YouTube or Facebook Live, whichever you prefer. You can jump in on our link tree at driveinspeakerbox.com. Follow us along wherever it is you want to follow along, or you can just download the audio version of this podcast if you want to do it on Spotify, or if you want to do whatever. Like it's your prerogative, it's your choice. Thanks for tuning in. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about movies. I am going to pour myself a shot of Jägermeister to start the show because it's been a couple of days and I need some Jaegers. So yeah, we saw some movies this week.
We did. Yeah.
What did you see?
The only new thing that we had in theaters local, besides the two Indian movies that were out there, was Alien. But it looked like a bunch of jump scares. You know I'm not a fan of jump scares, so I just watched The Jackpot, or Jackpot.
I thought
the
you were...
Jackpot.
I
It
thought
doesn't
you
matter.
would
I watched
be more scared of Awkwafina than you would be of aliens.
Yeah, I did. I sat through an Awkwafina movie. But John Cena was there.
Well, there you go. And
I
you could
watched
see
that.
him. I went and saw Alien Romulus, which we're going to be talking
Did
about.
they have lots of jump scares?
No.
Really?
It really didn't.
They were all in the trailer.
Pretty much. Well, the trailer was edited to feel like jump scares.
I see.
There really weren't many jump scares in the movie at all. I mean, and the ones I wouldn't even call them jump scares. You know the alien, like the face hugger or whatever, is gonna jump. You just you know it, and you're just waiting for it.
The trailer, each trailer had like 3 or 4 face hugger jump scare moments.
But you
and
saw
it
them
had it,
coming.
like,
Yeah, and that wasn't like a jump scare. It was, everything in the movie, you knew it was coming. You saw it, and you're just like watching it and you screaming. Anyway, I'll review it later. Stick around for that. That's coming up at the middle of the show. But right now, we like to talk about what's going on in the news because it's been a week. And we are going to tell you what happened this past week. Jake, I know you always have some. Oh, speaking of aliens, we'll start with this one. I thought this was pretty cool. For any of our viewers, listeners, whoever that live in California, get on this right now. I'm gonna drop up our TV here. If you are watching any one of our feeds. If you're listening to the podcast, you can't see this, but obviously in the original Alien movie, they're drinking Weyland-Yutani beer, which is called Aspen beer in the film. And there is a brewery in California, Angel City Brewery, that is doing a limited release of Aspen beer in a Weyland-Yutani can like the one in the movie. But of course, because of alcohol laws and shipping things across the states, that I can't buy it and have it shipped to Arkansas.
Missouri and Oklahoma let you ship there if you have friends that live.
Well, I reached out I put it on my Facebook. I was like, hey, anybody that I know in California, buy me this beer and mail it to me. I mean, honestly, I don't even care if the beer explodes. I just want the cans. The cans are cool.
It can't be mailed across Arkansas lines, but
they're not going to check a UPS box.
Maybe.
Velvet Santa on Twitch says, sounds like Jake's going to have to go on a bandit run.
Eastbound and down.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. We'll be westbound and down.
Loaded up in truck instead
No,
of
it's
Coors.
the loaded up in truckins when they're eastbound, because in the movie
They have to go get it.
There's the first version of the song where they're going to Texarkana and it's westbound.
Okay.
And then as soon as they get the Coors and they leave Texarkana to head back across the Mississippi,
That's eastbound.
then it's eastbound and down for the rest of the movie.
They're going to
because
do
they're loaded up in
what
trucking.
can't be done.
Yeah, there's
got a long way to go, and a short time to get there.
2 versions of songs. Just Eastbound was when they were getting chased, so that was
the better version.
the more exciting. It's the same song.
No.
It's just the Westbound is the truck is empty and they're going to get it.
And there's more peel outs in that song.
Because they're getting chased.
The point is, this beer exists and I want it. And
if I had a sweet Trans Am, I would definitely go do it.
So yeah, if you guys if you guys want to get some of this, I'm gonna drop the link in the Twitch here. So if you guys are just like itching for the stuff, I'm gonna drop this right here. Pop that link in our Twitch. You can get some of that. Maybe you can get lucky enough to get it into your home, but that'd be awesome. Anyway, I thought that was cool. A little alien related news, but now you give us a news bit.
Well, yeah, before I go anywhere else, though, I would strongly suggest not drinking anything that has Wayland-Yutani listed on it. I don't know if you've ever seen Spaceballs, but when someone, what was it? He got the special or the soup?
I think it was the special.
Yeah. So, in other news, something exciting for everyone, something for everyone to celebrate here. Lucasfilm has opted not to renew Acolyte for season 2. Imagine that.
Wow.
Like just one of the most hated Star Wars things yet. And they're like, well, I guess we won't be doing a season 2.
But they are doing like 16 other new things and a baby not baby Groot, baby
Grogu.
Yoda movie, Grogu. What?
Yeah.
I'm so over Star Wars. And I never thought, the child boom operator never would have imagined that his grown-up self would come to loathe Star Wars. Mm-hmm. I'm just so over it. I thought that, forever I'd be like, lightsabers are dank, like TIE fighters and X-Wings are sweet, like the Force rocks, I'll be doing this till I'm a grown-up. And now I'm a grown-up and I'm like, can we just stop? Like,
Don't that suck that Star Wars used to be so much fun and now it's just not at all?
It's not.
But yeah, Lucasfilm has decided that they will not be continuing on with the Acolyte, despite Disney being like, it's good. Okay, it's good. Everyone loves it. All our subscribers are super into it on Disney Plus. But it turns out everyone was just a little louder than Disney on this one, and they couldn't keep this suppressed. So they will not be doing a second season of the much maligned Acolyte. Something kind of cool, though, that is slowly, it has always been garbage, I guess, but it's slowly being ruined by more and more people. Anime, bro.
Yeah.
If you live in California, which is so far the only place I can tell right now is if you're in Los Angeles, there is going to be the AX Cinema Nights, the Anime Expo, as having cinema nights, but it's going to bring to the theater the 30th anniversary re-release of Ninja Scroll.
Oh, Ninja Scroll is pretty good.
Hopefully that'll be something that I can pick up on Blu-ray later, because Ninja Scroll is
pretty good.
Super good movie. I really like it.
Although, is Ninja Scroll a bit problematic in 2024?
No, dude, because Jubei kills the people that are bad guys.
Yeah, but I just remember some scenes.
Well, sure.
I remember some scenes.
It's to illustrate how evil those ninjas are. Okay. And then they get their comeuppance.
Okay.
Via Jubei being a cool dude.
I mean, because Ninja Scroll is tight.
Yeah, Ninja Scroll's sick. So 30th anniversary re-release, that's coming out in September, the 11th, the 12th, and the 15th. So like I said, ideally that'll be something, maybe they update that. Metropolis 2001, Paprika, because you can't have something like that without that movie.
Satoshi Kon.
And then they're going to have a Cowboy Bebop movie is coming back to the theater.
Oh, man, that was a good one, too. Is that when they have the red eye stuff? Is that the storyline with that one?
It's the one with Vincent.
That's right.
Because there's Vicious in the series and Vincent in the movie.
Because it takes place between a couple of different episodes. I think it's like between episode like 4 and 8 or something.
Was that when it's supposed to? I can't
remember. It's been a long time, but it's good. Cowboy Bebop is good. If you've never watched Cowboy Bebop.
Well, and fun thing about Cowboy Bebop and Ninja Scroll, same studio.
I know.
Yeah, how about that?
Super good.
So yeah, those will be coming back to the theater. Very, very, very extremely limited releasing, but maybe that means more for everyone else in the future with stuff like that. And then it was announced here recently, talking about cool action stuff. The Accountant 2 has wrapped filming.
The Accountant?
Yep. Ben Affleck.
I do.
Yeah. I don't know how they decided to make a sequel for this or why they've decided to do it so much further on, like so far in the future from where the first one was. I really like that first movie. It's super good.
So, every time I hear about The Accountant, it makes me think of one of my favorite short films of all time, which is an old Ray McKinnon, shout outs to Arkansas filmmakers, short film called The Accountant. And it's also, if you want somebody in the Twitch, because you guys have access to this, start ripping that up and comer button. It's one of Walton Goggins' earliest roles, because he was doing stuff with Ray McKinnon. They were homies, and this is before, of course. I mean, Walton Goggins is everywhere now. He's huge.
He's the face of the Fallout show.
But he is the accountant in the short film. It's if you've never seen this short film, it's really, really good. Honestly, I don't know where you'd find it. I think I have an old DVD copy of it somewhere, but it's really, really great. It's only a half hour. It's fantastic. So Velvet's in over on Twitch. He says, I met him when Ray McKinnon did a showing of The Accountant at UALR. It's great. It's a great short film. But every time you talk about that movie, The Accountant, I think of that short film.
Yeah, but there's no one that's like a super cool autistic murder man in that movie, right?
No, he is a super autistic weirdo guy, accountant, but he doesn't murder anybody. He's just super, super weird.
I see.
But yeah, Dina says that up and comer button on Twitch is locked for tier 3 subs, and she's on peasant level subs.
What?
Get to subbing, and then you can unlock that up and comer button. Yeah, so only
level 3 subbers.
Yeah,
you gotta make that more accessible.
Gotta spend your money.
Also, talking about weird things, strange actors. Nicolas Cage is going to be playing John Madden in a movie.
What, he's going to be playing PlayStation 1 John Madden football in a movie?
No,
or he's going to be...
He's going to be John Madden in a movie called Madden. It's being directed by David O. Russell.
Is he going to...
It's just so weird.
David O. Russell.
Yeah, the I Heart Huckabees guy.
I love David O. Russell. Actually,
he's directing Nicolas Cage
I
as
Heart
John
Huckabees
Madden.
Happens to be one of my favorite movies. And the who is the John Brion scorer is, but yeah.
So he's making a football movie with Nicolas Cage as John Madden. I don't know how I don't know how Nick Cage is going to be John Madden.
Is John Madden alive? Is he dead?
I don't know.
I
think he passed recently, right?
I don't know. I don't sports. John Madden. John Madden died in 2021. Okay.
Yeah, I knew it was pretty recent. But yeah, how is Nick Cage going to play that guy?
With a lot of prosthetics, probably. But yeah, okay. Damn, he was old. He died at 85. Man, football's weird. But yeah, John Madden, a hell of a personality, I mean, when I was a teenager, I played some... I was honestly forced because didn't have friends, and you go to people's houses to be friends. They're like, you want to play football games? And I go, not really, but I don't want to be lonely. And so you would play Madden. And be like, isn't sports fun? And I go, go fuck yourself. I hate my life. But
Madden's dumb when you don't like sports, man. You got to play Blitz.
Nah, dude, all sports are stupid.
But yeah, man, Nicolas Cage is Madden. And with John Madden getting excited about stuff, I just see Nicolas Cage screaming from all the movies where he's a crazy person, Face Off or his version of
I think
the
it'll
Wicker
be great.
Man.
I'm wondering if it's going to give the Weird Al treatment where it's just this hyper weird reality of John Madden, because I feel like that's what John Madden would have wanted, because he seemed like a really strange dude.
I have no idea, but I think it's weird for Nick Cage to the combo of people for that movie is. I
mean, you saw the prosthetic shit he was wearing in Long Legs.
No, I didn't watch.
You didn't watch any
Longlegs.
clips?
No, I haven't watched
You
it
haven't watched
yet.
any trailers, any clips?
David O. Russell's done sports. I mean, he's done a sports movie. He's done The Fighter, right? I don't know if he's done any other
sports adjacent
stuff. But yeah, it could be interesting.
Okay, well that's kind of funny.
And then the last bit of news I really
Did you catch that Kraven the Hunter trailer?
there's a new one. No, I did not.
I mean, it's rated R, baby.
Oh, they decided to take it that way, huh?
Yeah, and it looks so unnecessary.
I've been seeing all the
the movie that no one asked for.
all the clips and memes that people have been making. They're like, oh yeah, you thought Marvel was done. Everyone was so happy that Marvel just spiraled into oblivion because
But this is
Disney
Sony
ruined
Marvel.
it. And they're like, but here we are with Deadpool and Wolverine. Look at us now.
So we'll do another rated R Marvel. It's
Yeah.
this guy killing other guys, even though he's a good guy in the trailer in this movie, maybe even though he's a bad guy in the comics, because we can't have bad guys. We just have to have all good guys. Even if a bad guy is a bad guy in a comic and people like the bad guy, we gotta make him a good guy, like Venom and like Mobius or for more Morbin time.
Yeah, it's Morbin time.
We gotta make all bad guys good guys, and then we gotta make good guys bad guy adjacent, because we gotta give them a conscience.
No, I had not seen the new trailer for that, but I guess I will look that up.
It looks so stupid.
Yeah, well,
It's so boring.
something that
All
wasn't
bad guys are good guys.
something that wasn't boring. But hey,
Thanks for that sub, not
Yeah.
Ashley. You know, I mean, it's like the Venom 3 trailer. You've seen it.
yeah,
And it's like they've made Venom such a good dude. He's like, I'm wholesome, but eat brains. And
yeah,
you're
can
like,
still eat people.
you're a murderer. You're a. There was one tiny subplot of a comic where he was kind of an anti-hero, and now they've ran with it, and the movies are all like, he's just a lovable idiot, symbiote, murderer, brain eater.
Beelzebub Ding Dong says they're casting Sydney Sweeney as Black Cat. Don't do that. No, she's not cool enough to be Felicia. That's not cool.
Bye, Felicia.
One thing that had a bad guy that was not really a bad guy, but kind of turned into a bad guy and then decided to be a good guy. Funny enough, Kalki 2898, that super cool sci-fi Hindi movie that I went and watched. Or it wasn't in Hindi. It was Telugu, but it was about Hindu. It's getting its streaming release on the 22nd. So you can watch it
You
at
can
home.
watch it at home.
Yeah,
If you've got 4.5 hours to kill.
Via Prime or Netflix. It's not that long. It's like no, it's maybe 3 hours. It's just the same as any other movie right now.
It's exactly the same as any other movie.
Yeah. And then talking about movies that are long, but that's the norm anymore. Horizon is also getting its streaming release on the 23rd. So you can watch Kalki 2898 on the 22nd. You can watch Horizon Part 1 on the 23rd. That one will be on Max. And it has its Venice release for Part 2 on the 7th of September. But word is and the thought is that it depends on how successful Part 1 is on Max, what will happen to the rest of Horizon.
It's weird to see, like, because you don't get direct, like, box office numbers are public information. They have to submit this stuff, right? Streaming data, they don't. They can choose to be like, it's number one, but they can make that up. Like, they could totally make that up.
Yeah.
I was reading today that, and this is a movie that we both like, Jack Reacher, the
first one?
the original Tom Cruise, what was that, 2016? Or no, that was the sequel. Damn, Jack Reacher's old now. Oh,
We're old.
Jesus.
Yeah.
But it's like in the top 10 on Netflix, and it's trending really hard. And it's probably because of the success of the Amazon Prime show, rightfully so, because it's also very good. But, like, who's to say? Like, could Netflix just go, you know what? We want to give something some love, so we're going to go, it's in the top 10 right now, which, of course, becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy because we're all sheep and lemmings.
And it
we'll
makes
go,
it where you don't have to scroll.
and go, oh, man, that's in the top 10. Other people are liking it. Therefore, it must be good. And you click and you watch it, and therefore it becomes good and it becomes popular because we're all stupid. And but anyway, yeah, I don't know why we should be able to have access to this data. Is all I'm saying. Like, I want to know.
Well, talking Horizon, they released its numbers. It made 34.5 of its 50 million back. And I'm sure that it can recover the rest of that through Max. Probably not too difficult, I would hope. You know, I mean, enough people watch Max, and if you're ever on there, the content on Max kind of blows.
I don't watch Max.
So
I'm more of a men guy.
Yeah.
I don't watch Max.
So that might be something. Plus, with all the talk around it, good or bad, it'll at least be something people can turn it on at home and be like, hey, let's check it out, you know. Or you have all the people at home that watch Yellowstone on Paramount. They might be like, let's check this out on Max. And then maybe it'll end up being a big runaway success through streaming. And we'll see if it ever returns to the theater or not with any of the sequels.
Going back in the comments really quick, Beelzebub Ding Dong on Twitch said something that I kind of want to comment because we both worked at video rental stores. He says they would do that back in the day at Blockbuster and Hastings to put relevant titles in prominent circulation to get them rented. And absolutely, like you could put something on the best renters wall. I mean, we did it all the time because we're like, we want this to get rented. Put it on the best renter wall. Because so if you listen to the Drive-In Speaker Box for a long time, you know I have this voice that I do, and it's What's Good Guy. And What's Good Guy was created from a bunch of people that I encountered when I worked at like Hastings and all that stuff. They would come up and they go, hey man, what's good? And I'm like, well, you know, I don't know what you like. And they'd go to the wall of what's good and they'd be like, hey man, yeah, this is what's good. Or I'd recommend a movie. I'd be like, how about this movie? And they go, yeah man, but it ain't over there on the what's good wall, so it's probably ain't good.
If anyone ever came up to me and asked that, I'd just hand them Kagemusha and go, there you go.
You go, have a great time. And they'd be like, why has this got black bars on it? Can I get my refund back?
Yeah, well, Kagemusha would be like black and white
Yeah.
and subtitled.
This is old. This is before my time.
Yeah.
I don't understand. It's in foreign language. I got to read, and there's black bars on it. Velvet Santa on Twitch asks, did anyone ever hand someone Lady Hawk?
That would be a great one for like what's good. It'd be like,
I have recommended Lady Hawk many a times because it's what is it? It's
slow build.
No, it's together forever, eternally apart. I think is like the tagline because you know in the day, he's a man and she's a hawk, and in the night she's a lady and he's a wolf. You know, and that how Lady Hawk goes. And then Matthew Broderick is the little thief man named like Mouse or something. That's a really good movie and has a fantastic score by the something project. There's a band. It was called the
Alan Parsons.
The Alan Parsons Project. Yeah, and they do the music to Lady Hawk. And
it'd be fun if someone asked what's good and you just hand them Zardoz and no comment. You just hand them Zardoz.
That sounds fun. Actually, you know, I want to say there was an old audio trailer to Zardoz that's actually pretty cool.
Like a radio commercial?
A radio commercial. Hang on. Let me see if I can pull that up because it's all like Zardoz. It's so weird. Here we go. Let's see if this pulls up.
I try to suppress these thoughts, but they leak out in second level through the head wound of my third death. I was imperfectly repaired.
Vote, please.
Yes, a bit frightening, isn't it?
Final votes. 4, 9. Against, 586. Sentence, George Saden will be aged 5 years.
I have seen the future, and it does not work.
Zardoz. They make you old, but they don't let you die.
So what's to stop you killing yourself?
I do now and again, but the Eternal Tabernacle simply rebuilds me.
Into a world of eternal life, Zardoz brought the gift of death.
Fight back. Fight for death.
20th Century Fox presents a John Borman film.
Zardoz.
It took careful breeding to produce a slave who would free his masters.
Welcome to paradise.
Zardoz, rated R, under 17, not admitted without parent.
Caution, you are approaching the...
See if it says it one more time. No.
No.
Okay. Zardoz. I don't know why that imprinted in my mind because this was way before I was ever born.
Was
but
any
it's like, it's
of
so
that
good.
plot in the movie?
I don't know, because
No.
the only plot I remember from the movie was Sean Connery in a G-string.
Yeah, and then he goes to like those weird cults and stuff, and then
Zardoz.
yeah.
So good.
No, that would be the good joke to hand someone as like a what's good.
Here, it's Zardoz. Yeah.
How many channel points to get me into the Sean Connery outfit from Zardoz?
No, it was like one of those like
not gonna
Fredericks of Hollywood like G-strings that's like over the shoulder, like Lilu's costume from Fifth Element. That's just like a camel toe maker that goes over the over the shoulders and up the butt crack. Like that was Sean Connery's outfit.
Well, yeah, because I mean that was the whole movie, is that he escapes his like weird society, but he's like a hunter dude, and then he learns about the world, but he also gets taken in by like weird sex cults that are behind like the cave walls and
Zardoz.
Yeah, it's such a weird movie, man.
So anyway, this is why you tune in the drive-in speaker box, because we have credentials. This isn't a Variety or New York Times article where we're 23 and we've never seen a fucking movie in our lives. We've seen too many stupid movies in our lives, and what were we even talking about? We need to talk about what's coming out in theaters this week.
Yeah, we were talking about. Did you not? Was that all the news?
I gotta drink more brandy.
That was all the news that I had.
I'm dealing with shit. Okay, let me drink my brandy. Yeah, let's talk about what's coming out in theaters this week.
All right.
I'm pumped.
Also, real quick, happy birthday, Velvet Santa.
Oh yeah, over on Twitch. Got a birthday in the house. Happy birthday, Velvet Santa. We will be opening up gifts you gave us at the end of the show after the stream is over. So stick around for that. It's I think it's the final week of those gifts. So get to buying us more stuff, dude. Anyway, all right. Coming out in theaters this week, August 23rd, 2024. There are two movies that I actually want to see coming out this week. Though I'm skeptical about one of them. But we will start with...
Oh, belated to Vince.
Oh, right on. Another birthday over on Twitch. Happy birthday, Vince, man. Thanks for the 400 years of subscriptions that you give us on Twitch. Right? We appreciate that. A literal mountain of VHS in my garage. Okay, well, don't give them to me all at once. All right, well, coming out in theaters this week, there's two that are going to be nationwide, and those are the ones we're going to be talking about. There's a lot of, like, kind of indie films. There is one indie film that I kind of want to mention. It's called Between the Temples. It's rated R. It's about 2 hours long. It's got Jason Schwartzman and Carol Kane. I like both of those people. It's written and directed by Nathan Silver. It's about a cantor in crisis of faith finding his world turned upside down when his grade school music teacher re-enters his life as his new adult bar mitzvah student. So we've got Jason Schwartzman and Carol Kane just playing this sort of buddy movie. Robert Smigel, of all people, is in this playing a rabbi, and I don't know if you know him from SNL fame, a very talented comedian or kind of a writer, honestly, and not to be mistaken with Schmiegel. But yeah, this one looks pretty good. It's got some cool olive branches on the poster, so you know that like hipsters are gonna love it. Sony's Picture Classics putting that one out there, but that one is coming out this weekend. The other two, the one that you've probably seen trailers for is another rated R movie, written and directed by Zoe Kravitz, who is also very awesome. I don't know if you followed her kind of Hollywood career. I mean, obviously, a lot of people know her from being Catwoman in The Batman, my kind of least favorite thing that she has been in, or maybe the least favorite thing that she was in X-Men's First Class. But I really liked her in High Fidelity, the television remake of the film of the same thing, or same name. But she is, of course... like you'd assume with the last name, she is Lenny Kravitz's daughter, and she's hella talented. Zoe Kravitz coming in and doing Blink Twice, which is starring Channing Tatum, who is actually playing a villain, which I like to see. I like it when, you know, heartthrobs and pretty boys get to play bad guys. Christian Slater also in this. Simon Rex, who I have not seen, a.k.a. Dirt Nasty, coming out playing in Haley Joel Osment in this movie. Where has he been?
Simon Rex was in he was in that movie where he played like the former porn star dude, and he had to come home.
Yes.
I watched it.
It was
and
like called
talked
Red Rocket or something like that.
Yeah, I watched it and talked about it on the show, but that was like 2 years ago.
But here's the crazy thing. Gina Davis is in this movie. Kyle MacLachlan is in this movie. There are a lot of
up-and-comers.
A lot of up-and-comers in this movie. But this movie is about, it's a tech billionaire, Slater King, played by Channing Tatum, meets a cocktail waitress at this fundraising gala, invites her to join him and his friends on this vacation on a private island, and weird things kind of start happening on this island with all these rich people. The casting alone makes me really interested in this movie, with people like Simon Rex, Christian Slater, and Haley Joel Osment in particular. These are three people that have really felt the hardships of what Hollywood and fame and fortune can do to you, but have still existed in the Hollywood world. So I feel like they're going to be bringing a lot of, I don't know, it's just a very interesting casting choices from people that I feel have lived this life. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I want to see this movie. And I trust Zoe Kravitz. I mean, she's writing and directing this. I think it's going to be good. But the other movie that's coming out this week that has been much talked about on this show over the past decade, and I'm very skeptical of this. It's directed by Rupert Sanders, written by James Barr and Zach Balin. I'm not so excited about this director's previous works, but it's the remake of The Crow, and it's starring FKA Twigs and Bill Skarsgård, who I like both of those people. FKA Twigs is a very talented musician, if you're not familiar with her work. Bill Skarsgård he's a Skarsgård. It's in his blood. He's cool, man. I mean, he was gifted with the blood, and all the Skarsgårds are cool. Danny Houston's in it, probably playing a bad guy because that's what he always does.
I mean, he's the bad guy. He's never not the bad guy. I think I've seen one movie where he was not the bad guy, but it's like you thought he was the bad guy the whole time.
If you're watching the video, this is my impression of Danny Houston. Like, it's just
good.
He's got these eyebrows. It's just the Danny Houston eyebrows. They're villain eyebrows. Anyway, The Crow, the original movie is in my top 20 favorite films of all time. Like, I love the original Crow. It's for reasons that are I can explain them to you. The Crow did a lot of really, really interesting things in terms of cinema. The original Crow, obviously, it came out in 1994. It was directed by Alex Proyas. Alex Proyas, kind of a visionary director that kind of fell apart too soon.
Well, and they had to finish it without the star of their movie.
Yes, I mean, the Dark City and The Crow, like 90s Alex Proyas, like those movies are so good. I don't know what happened to him. Maybe he wasn't able to get the budgets that he used to get, but those two movies really defined a genre that has not been visited many times. Like, they're incredible films. They're very technical films, but The Crow was really, really cool in the sense that it was goth adjacent as films go. It featured industrial music. It had a lot of it felt very 90s. It had iconic imagery, music that you didn't hear a lot in films. It dealt with themes that you didn't see a lot in films at the time. There was a lot of hyper violence. It was a movie about a hero, but no one really wins. It wasn't a happy movie at the end. I mean, yes, he gets revenge, but he's already dead, and him and his girlfriend were raped and murdered on their wedding night. Like, they're already dead, and exactly. And Ernie Hudson was in it. I mean, you got Ernie Hudson, you got David Patrick Kelly, you got Tony Todd,
Ernie Hudson in a movie about ghosts?
What? And then you got Michael Wincott. Michael Wincott, like that guy, I think the last time we all saw Michael Wincott in a movie that was engaging was, what was the movie that Jordan Peele did? Was it about the aliens? Was it like called Look Up or Don't Look Up or Aliens in the Sky, or I don't know what the fuck it was called.
Crap.
But
I don't remember.
Anyway, Michael Wincott was the old bastard with the camera that was like,
Nope. That's what it was called.
Okay, yeah. And Michael Wincott was the director. He's like, I'm gonna catch me some aliens on camera. Like Michael Wincott it's like he has a gullet full of rocks, like at all times, and he has just like this bad guy villain voice. Anyway, he's the bad guy in it, and then you have Brandon Lee, who was like on this meteoric rise to becoming a superstar, who got killed on set due to faulty blanks in a gun.
Who was Tony Todd in that? I have not watched.
He was on just another character in the movie, just in the background. He was like he was the henchman in the black leather hat that was next to Michael. We're gonna get him.
I didn't like The Crow.
Because you're wrong. Because you never felt feelings. You never.
No, it was just something that
But did you like '90s Sting, the wrestler? Because he totally copied the Crow.
My brother did. Yeah, Crow Sting. He went from Surfer Sting to Crow Sting.
Crow Sting.
I liked Surfer Sting because he teamed up with RoboCop.
Right. Because you're not emo.
No.
So this movie like was, if you were to talk about like the Berenstain Bears, like Large Hadron Collider multiverses, like The Crow was where things went and made an emo verse, right? Like it. And the other thing about, because I love soundtracks, I love film scores.
Yeah, I know you like the music.
And the thing about the Crow is that film is what put soundtracks as an album on the map. Like before The Crow, there was like maybe, what was it? Lost Highway, I think was one of the first, and that came out around the same year. But these two movies made original motion picture soundtrack albums something that studios paid attention to. They're like, wait a minute, music in movies can be a thing that we can sell to people. We can make these albums. We can get artists to create music for these movies, and then it can become like an actual album. Then we can sell. And the Crow soundtrack, I mean, the score is great, but the soundtrack, absolutely. Like the Cure did an original song, "Burn." It's so good. This dude, original Crow fucks so hard.
I think it ticks all your boxes, but I mean, so yeah, Bernard Oliver, can't believe I didn't like The Crow. I didn't. But Velvet Santa's on my side. See, it was lacking a whole bunch of Clint Howard. That's what you need in it.
What?
Man, so I really like revenge movies, though. Like, I like revenge movies. Dude, I'll sit down and watch.
This is the ultimate revenge movie.
Death Wish.
Death Wish. No, he comes back to life after these bad guys threw him off a building and then raped and murdered his wife. And then he comes back the next year on All Hallows Eve, which is Devil's Night. And he's like, remember me? And they're like, no. Yeah. And then he murder kills all of them until they remember him.
Charles Bronson didn't need post-death superpowers
because they didn't kill him.
Exactly,
which makes this even cooler.
Can't.
And they pump him full of bullets.
So many Death Wish movies. I like Death Wish. RoboCop is a revenge movie at the core of it.
And he played guitar. He was like the sad dude. It was like, it can't rain all the time. And like Shelly, the little girl who remembered him, and she's like, oh my God, Eric. And anyway, it's so cool. I'm worried about this new one because this one's all like, hey, face tats are emo now, and we're gonna lean into what's emo now. And it's like Post Malone with a ninja sword, like coming after bad guys. I don't know. I'm a little weird about how I feel about this movie. Bernard over on Facebook said it's like American Berserk. He said he's emo gutsu, and you're not wrong, because he does have the mark, man.
Now I'll tell you what, if he had a big old guts sword, I would be like, yeah, let's go watch this movie.
But I'm gonna go see this movie this weekend. Like I'm gonna go see this movie. This is a movie that has been on the boards to be remade for literally a decade. I never thought it would actually get remade. I'm not exactly excited about it being remade. And here's the reason why. It's not just the story, because this is a comic book movie. It's based off of a comic, and the comic is incredibly violent. But the thing that made the original Crow so great is Alex Proyas's like vision of that world. Like he had such a great eye for world building, of building like a neo-noir, like kind of gothic sort of environment out of the modern day city. Like it was very much what, like the Batman, that dark, gritty kind of Gotham. It's raining all the time. It's dark all the time. You don't see daylight. It feels like reality, but it's a hyper darkened, industrialized like vision of a dirty city. And Alex Proyas was really, really good at doing that. And also, as Beelzebub Ding Dong said on Twitch, it's hard to separate it from Brandon Lee, because Brandon Lee absolutely crushed that role, because it was his big breakout role. He'd been in some other movies, but that was the first role where you get to see this really lighthearted, happy guy transform into this sort of angel of death, right? And I feel like everything that I've seen from the trailer, Bill Skarsgård doesn't look like a happy-go-lucky guy. It's just like always like, face tats and anger and angst, and now I'm immortal and can kill people with anger and angst. That was not the original Crows. Like he
was
had
happy.
this. Yeah, he was happy. So anyway, I don't know. It's coming out. I'm going to see it. And I don't know. It's one of my favorite movies being remade, and that's dangerous territory, man.
Yeah, that'll probably be the one that I watch, just because, like I said, I like revenge movies. I'll see if I like this one at all.
And I wonder how many douchebags are going to dress like this for Halloween this year.
Well, probably a good amount.
Does anybody even shop at Hot Topic anymore?
I don't know.
They're about to. All right.
I'm with Bernard, yeah.
Bernard on Facebook says, I think it's going to be horrible, but he's going to watch it.
There's nothing in the trailers that makes it look compelling.
Except it's the Crow.
Yeah, but you have nostalgia and investment that you're going on, but there's nothing, no advertising as this as its own movie that makes it have any.
Have you ever painted your face in Shadow Smile?
No,
I have. And one time I did crow makeup for
I've painted my face like Peter Criss and Ace Frehley many times.
I mean, I've done that too. Yeah, I don't know, man. The Crow, it's actually coming out in theaters. I'm scared. I'm gonna go see it. I'm probably gonna watch The Crow tonight. Actually, I need to find my DVD. It's around here somewhere. I'm gonna watch The Crow tonight because that movie's so good. Merle over on Twitch says, I got an Autechre EP at Hot Topic in the 90s. Autechre bangs. Like, I haven't listened to any Autechre in a long time. Okay, well, that's what's coming out in theaters this week. We need to review movies because we only have about 20 minutes left. So let's talk about some movies. I'll let you go first because I've been talking about The Crow for far too long.
Yeah, and I'll get the streaming service movie out of the way. So I watched Jackpot! ! It is the new Amazon Prime movie with Awkwafina and John Cena. It's about a near future where California has instated a lottery that the winner of the lottery gets millions to billions of dollars. But the catch is anyone else has the opportunity to kill them within a set time limit. And if whoever kills them gets the winnings instead. So if you have the winning ticket, it's your job to survive against all of California. But
so it's kind of like Battle Royale.
It's a lot like that movie that had that recent movie that had Jake, what's his name, from New Girl, where he was given the opportunity to win a lot of money, but he was going to be hunted.
Oh, yes.
But he had to have someone with him.
What was the name of that?
It was a lot like that movie more than anything else.
Okay.
Very similar to that, except she's not safe. The only safe zone is to leave the state, right?
Or to like, get to the border.
Yeah, to cross this line.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
Awkwafina plays a character where she's new into town. She was a child actress, but she'd moved home to take care of her mother, who passed away, and it was her dream for her to be a successful actor. So on her mother's passing, returns to L.A. to try and be an actor once again. Accidentally registers herself into the lottery that's in a borrowed pair of pants that she pulls it out, and then she's the winner, and so now everyone's trying to kill her. John Cena, freelance protection agent, who shows up and has her sign a contract where he receives 10% of her winnings if he's able to keep her alive, and she has the highest jackpot that there's ever been in this new lottery.
Does John Cena not look like John Hamm in this? With the hair and the suit?
I mean, his hair, maybe, but...
Okay.
Anyhow, action/comedy ensues from that. And it's just like a very PG beat-down movie. You don't really see a lot of people get harmed or killed outside of like
quick cuts
at the very beginning of the movie. Lots of comedy violence, cartoon violence is in it. John Cena is really good. I like everything that John Cena did in this movie. He is showing that he's a movie star. Like, he's very good at it. Awkwafina is very Awkwafina. She does a lot of outdated jokes. It's a lot of her just kind of doing like a Kevin Hart type thing, and it plays itself out very quickly. But once Simu Liu shows up, John Cena and him do a great job. Their parts of the movie are really fun. If you can get past Awkwafina, it's worth like the hour and a half on Amazon. Not a bad movie. It's something
movie.
It's something you can put on in the background and kind of pay attention to here and there. One or two scenes worth watching, but the rest of it, it's a movie. Yeah, so not good, not bad, but
there.
It's
a comedy.
John Cena, though, is a lot of fun.
So
if you're a Cena fan.
Well, it is on streaming right now. And, so while we still have some time, we're going to talk about Alien Romulus. I like how the title of the show is like, let's review these movies. And we talk for 45 minutes and go, oh, God, shit, we got to review these movies.
Well, I mean, something like Jackpot, there's honestly not a lot to review. The premise of the movie is the movie. It's just them fighting off people for an hour and a half. And then, spoiler, she wins the lottery because they're not going to kill Awkwafina in the movie.
They should.
Yeah. And then Vince said that movie we were talking about was Jake Johnson in Self-Reliance. If you've seen that movie, which I did, and I talked about that on the show too, it's very similar, just with more cartoon violence.
Okay. Well, speaking of violence, Alien Romulus in theaters right now. Fede Alvarez coming and taking over the Alien franchise, picking things back up. I feel like I need to pull up like an Alien timeline because there's so many movies in this universe that has happened. And if you don't know, Blade Runner also takes place in this whole world because, the Wayland Corporation, before it merged with Weyland-Yutani and blah, 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 and that's where the replicants eventually become these different problems that we see in all the Alien movies. But Alien takes place, the original one that was in 1979 takes place, after Alien Covenant and Prometheus, which all of this gets referenced to in Romulus. And then Aliens, directish sequel to Alien. And Alien 3, still, of course, sort of a directish sequel, even though they resurrected Sigourney Weaver that was Resurrection, where they resurrect Sigourney Weaver for the mom pregnant alien thing. It's a lot. But Romulus is kind of a return to form, I would say. Romulus, just the short, quick and dirty review, I thought it was great. I thought the last 15 minutes were a little bit unnecessary with some of the stuff that they did. But I really, 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 really enjoyed this movie, and I have to say, and we're gonna throw that up and comer button out there, real hard for David Johnson. David Johnson, who played the role of Andy, who was an artificial person, as he likes to be called. He was a malfunctioning artificial person. Why
is it that the androids in the Alien movie are always like the best characters in the movies?
Well, because they're the most interesting, you know. And this character was fantastic because he started as a malfunctioning artificial person that the main character, who was played by Kaylee Spaney, whose name is Rain, her father reprogrammed this one that he found in a dumpster. They were on a mining planet, right? And that was another cool thing that I liked about this movie. This movie didn't follow like scientists or a team of excavators or a science team or whatever. It was some people that were trying to escape a mining planet. So you really got to see a little bit of this world, which I really appreciated, of you know, Weyland-Yutani as this monster corporation that doesn't care about human life, that is very profit driven, and here's a mining colony off on some planet that this group of, you know, young people are trapped on, and they're trying to get out of the oppression of working on this mining colony. But anyway, she has this android in her employ that her father reprogrammed, that once they get up into space, he gets like, they find a decommissioned, broken version, which, spoiler alert, they reprise Ian Holmes' character, which big debate online. Some people hate it, some people are like, whoa, cool. But anyway, he gets an upgrade, and so just the performance by David Johnson was so freaking great.
This is a sequel to Alien, right? Like, it takes place after the events of Alien, but before Aliens. This is while Sigourney.
No, this is after Aliens.
Oh, after.
So I'll give you a spoiler because it'll make sense when you watch the movie.
So it's not his character from Alien.
No, it's a different.
It's a different one, a different model.
A different model.
Okay.
And so in like just like Michael Fassbender.
Same model, different
edition.
Android.
You know, because he references the Andy model. He's like, oh, yeah, you got, because they were like laborers. And, you know, Michael Fassbender, he played multiple models because they look.
Yeah, because one of them hacks the other one, and then he pretends that he's the good one, but he's the evil one.
He's the evil one. And so, you know, they never. Fede Alvarez thought it would be cool because they never, you know, even Bishop's character came back as an addition, a different edition of that model, and they were like, wouldn't it be cool if we did Ian Holm the same way? Because Ash in the first movie, he was the original villain, you know, because something that I talked about in the pre-show is in the Alien movies, the xenomorphs are not the bad guys. They are not.
Weyland-Yutani is the bad guy.
Weyland-Yutani is the bad guys. And the corporation is the bad guys. Humans are the bad guys. Greed and capitalism is the bad guys.
Well, the dumb idiot that stuck his face into a Giger egg.
No, that didn't help.
Or whoever's bright idea it was, I can't remember who was like, we got to let him in. And Sigourney Weaver's like, no, don't let him in with an alien on his face. And they're like, oh, but maybe.
So this movie takes place, for those of you that go see it, this will help you frame it. So Sigourney Weaver, Alien, she was on the Nostromo, right? And then the Nostromo, they airlocked, you know, they purged the thing, got it out of there. And then the science vessel came to investigate the wreckage of the Nostromo, found some of the space wreckage, found some of that alien stuff that was just sitting there floating, frozen in space. And they're like, oh, you know, because the Weyland-Yutani Corporation has been absolutely bona fide for the xenomorph like DNA, because they think it can like be profitable and make humanity perfect, you know, as reference to in other movies. But they've got this on the space station, and then all of a sudden the space station's remains, you don't know what happens. Obviously xenomorphs happen, but the space station starts to get into closer orbit to the planet that these people are on, and they're like, they've got enough fuel to get up into space, and they're like, dude, we got to get off this planet. They're not going to let us. They're, you know, they've been working in the mines for so long that they earned passage off the planet, but the corporation's like, oh, actually, we just increased the time that you got to stay there, so go fuck yourself, you know, plebes, keep mining. they're like, no, let's get out of here. But they're like, we scanned it, and there's probably, cryopods on there, because that's what keeps people from being able to do deep space travel, because it's like you can't survive 9 years on a spaceship, so they have to have the cryopods. And like, there's probably cryopods on that thing. Let's go get it before it hits the ring and disintegrates. And they're like, no, this is crazy. But they have Andy, who's a Weyland-Yutani Corp android, that they're like, if we can get him up there, even though he's broken, he listens to what we say because he's broken and reprogrammed. We can use him to get access to these things. So it's a heist, right? They're going to go steal the stuff. But they get up there, and it's a science vessel that has remnants of the ship from the Nostromo. And while they're in there trying to get these cryopods, they start turning things on, and face huggers that are in stasis start coming out of the woodwork. And then guess what? Game over, dude. Game over, man. And the xenomorph is able to make his prey again. So they encounter Ash. That is a whole thing. It's not Ash, it's Rook. He's a different model of the Ash model. And a lot of people are mad because it was a very AI, because Ian Holm is dead. He's super dead. So they had an actor play him and do a very good impression, but they used AI to make his voice sound more like Ian Holm, and then they used AI to make his face, and it looks really bad. I'm not going to lie. There are scenes that look really, really, really bad and really, really stiff. Considering there are so many other things in this movie that look absolutely incredible, considering this movie only had a $118 million budget. Like, it was actually supposed to go to Hulu, and they're like, no, this is so good, we have to put this in theaters. And
man, Hulu would have had Predator and Alien as exclusives then.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, it's true to form. I felt like it was a little bit heavy into the whole same Sigourney Weaver femme fatale like trope that a lot of the horror survival movies tend to do. But the Rain character was really cool. Andy was a new twist on the android storyline, where you can't figure out whether you want to like this character or hate this character. Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? It brings into question, AI in its place in our world, because it's something that's taking place in our lives a lot right now. And oh my God, David Johnson, we're going to see him in so many movies. He deserves some sort of award for this performance. It was absolutely incredible. Archie Renault plays the other co-lead. He was in a Netflix series. I'm drawing a blank. It's Shadow and Bone. He was pretty good in that. Cool to see him in this. A lot of other just sort of up and comers that were in this film. But yeah, overall, really, really good. A lot of callbacks, as Beelzebub said over on Twitch. A lot of callbacks. But I feel like some of the callbacks are necessary, not because they're callbacks, because they're fitting this in a timeline. They have to. They have to use the same technology. They have to reference Mother. They have to use these different models, because you forget this isn't just like some prequel in a timeline that's indefinite. It's like this is fitting in after this movie, but before this movie. So are they callbacks, or is it framing? And that's where it gets really hard to make movies like this 20, 30 years, 40 years, 10 years. The original Alien movie was in 1979. We're over 40 years past that. Like, how do you make a movie that fits between it and movies that have been made after it that are also after it in the timeline? You have to have callbacks, because it can't be truly standalone. But as Beelzebub pointed out on Twitch, how would you get that guy to say, get away from her, B? Like, yeah, there are things. It's hard to update.
They had some guy yell the Sigourney Weaver line.
Yes, and they had the line, the scene where the xenomorph's like this, and it goes, which has been memed so many times, which I think is from Alien 3. Sigourney Weaver and the xenomorph with the thing going like at her face. They recreated that scene. There was a lot of stuff like that, but overall, I thought it was really good. I mean, the first hour and a half, I was so sold. I was in it, man. And the last 20 minutes got a little too action packed for me, and a little too over the top. But I was willing to forgive it for the amazing hour and a half ahead of it.
I think it is 3, because 3 it doesn't kill her because it like smells that she has like
Alien DNA,
xeno
xenomorph
stuff
DNA.
in her. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, yo people, dabs on dabs. I'm gonna go over and need somebody else.
Was it? Is it that one or Resurrection where she jettisons her alien daughter out of the window via its butthole? You know, because there's like the little, they shoot the hole in the window and then it gets like sucked through the window into space, and it's just by its butthole.
Pretty sure that's Alien Resurrection because that was directed by Jean-Pierre Jeunet, and there is a place in my heart for Alien Resurrection because there is always a place in my heart for Jean-Pierre Jeunet because Delicatessen is great, Amelie is great, City of Lost Children is great. This dude has made so many amazing films. Micmacs is great.
Yeah, but it's
like,
just that
he's so good. He's such a great director.
He's like, you know how in all these alien movies so far they kill it by jettisoning it into space. What if this time it just turns into string cheese via its butthole in a hole this big?
Well, and that, I mean, hey, kudos to them for thinking of a different way to kill the alien instead of just airlock.
Yeah, but it was like,
because that's the thing,
sucked into space butthole first.
You can't kill them in the vacuum of space.
Dude, but it's
they
like
survive.
It's so creepy because it has its butthole just being sucked out this window through space, and then it looks at her and it goes, "Mama," or whatever.
It did mama on her.
Well, it's just like ejecting via its butt.
And I'm not gonna give any spoilers away, but there is some creepy shit that goes down at the end that references, you know, Prometheus and the other ones with the tall crazies. It's good. Go see it. It's doing really well at the box office. Speaking of the box office, we need to get into that.
Okay.
Because we're running out of time.
Space butthole.
Velvet Sand on Twitch says we need a space butt emoji. Okay, I'll get to work on that.
How do you do that?
Just watch me. Photoshop's got AI updates. I'll just be like, hey, ChatGPT, make me an alien, a prolapsed alien butthole getting sucked.
Oh, gosh. Be careful.
Yeah. And they'll be like, oh, this violates our terms of service.
Yeah. All right. Here we go.
Okay.
Here's the box office. One thing I want to talk about, though, is at number 12.
One thing I want to talk about is Brandy.
My Penguin Friend is at number 12. We had a single showing on any given day of that movie.
We did?
AMC has it. But it was at 10:30 a.m. yesterday.
I want to see that movie.
Since when are they even open that early? No other
I
showing.
thought they opened it at noon.
They must have been having special showings because yesterday it was 10:30 a.m. because I went to check if I wanted to watch.
It's crazy
a movie.
the genre like goes from hardcore killer to like Penguin. Man.
But it's made $1 million in the U.S. here so far.
That's pretty good for being in almost no theaters and being cast by no one that's famous here in the United States.
Just above it is Harold and the Purple Crown, made another $1 million. Who cares? At number 10, steep drop from the number 4 spot, Borderlands in its second week out, $2.4 million. It's grossed a total in the U.S. so far of $13.6 million. That movie is a stinker. I talked about it last week? It was tough. You watched it too. We both talked about it. There we go. But something interesting, opening at number 9, one of the 2 Indian movies that we had locally as well, Stree 2. It's like a Indian horror movie. That one brought in just over $2.5 million, but enough to be in the top 10. So that's very interesting there. And then at number 8, dropping from the 6th spot, Trap in its 3rd week out. $3.4 million brought in by that one, 35.2 so far here in the U.S. It's made a little bit of money across the globe.
More than I would have thought.
27, so 62 million total.
Not bad.
No.
It's okay. It's fine.
If you want to watch M. Night Shyamalan's version of Taylor Swift's movie, there you go. And then holding at the number 7 spot, Inside Out 2, another $3.5 million brought in by it, and its 10th week out. $642.5 million in the U.S. alone. It's made enough money to be well over $1 billion. Yeah, no, it's made almost $1 billion across the globe. So $1.63 billion for Inside Out 2. And then coming in at the number 6 spot above it is Despicable Me 4. So both those family movies right there. In its 7th week out, brought in $6.3 million, $340.6 so far in the U.S. They're talking about doing like live action Minion movies and stuff because of that now. So get ready for that. And then at number 5.
No. Just no.
Opening at the number 5 spot, a Fathom event, Coraline.
This is cool.
For its 15th anniversary, 4K.
I wanted to see this, but I saw Alien instead.
Yeah. 9.6 million brought in this weekend. With all of its showing so far, it's brought in 12.5.
That's cool.
That's pretty good for a terrifying kids movie. And then above it, at number 4, Twisters, in its 5th week, brought in $10 million. $240 million brought in by that one. There you go. Not bad for it. I'm sure it made all its dollars. And then at number 3, It Ends With Us, $23.8 million. And it's 2 weeks out. It's brought in almost $100 million. And its opening week, it tripled its budget. And now it's made another $82 million everywhere else. It has $180 million. So with what, like $20 million budget or something like that?
Yeah, just killing it.
Yeah, crushed it. And above it, Deadpool and Wolverine actually knocked out of the top spot. $30 million brought in by it. 4 weeks out, though, it's brought in $546 million in the U.S., $600 million across the globe, $1.1 plus billion for Wolverine and Deadpool.
So much money. We're going to get, like Ryan Reynolds said in the movie, we're going to be seeing these till they're in their 90s.
Yeah.
It's never going to quit.
And then the movie that robbed Deadpool and Wolverine of maintaining that top spot for a full-on month, Alien Romulus, opened to the tune of $42 million. Wow, another 68. So it's already gotten $110 million across the globe.
So it's almost paid for itself. Like it had, I think, $118 million budget. So that's a pretty strong opening for what a movie that they thought was just going to end up on Hulu. So, yeah, go see it. Bernard over on Facebook said he enjoyed Trap. Hope it M. Night Shyamalan-verse becomes a thing. I just thought it was a good movie. I think that what I want from M. Night Shyamalan is I want people to stop expecting things from him. Just let him make movies. Don't expect a twist. Don't expect a thing. Don't expect, the guy at the end of Trap to be someone who's going to kill Unbreakable guy and a fucking Splice guy. Like, no, just like let the guy make some movies, man. Vince over on Twitch says, I was thinking, is Ryan Reynolds the poor man's Jason Lee, but a more annoying?
I like Ryan Reynolds and Jason Lee.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they both have their place in the pantheon of annoying. And then they're both fine. I like Jason Lee. Has Jason Lee even been in anything in the past 25 years?
Yeah, he was in My Name is Earl, which was a real big series.
That's TV.
That's television. That's horse crap.
TV.
I don't know if he's done many movies recently.
Exactly. He's done, man. He owns
the Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
So yeah, Jason Lee hasn't been in much. Yeah. So yeah, Ryan Reynolds is the new Jason Lee. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna get out of here. It's that time. We're gonna sign it off. We're gonna. For those of you that are our Twitch followers and Twitch fans, we're going to stick around for just a minute to open up and reveal the last package of the gift pack from one of our viewers over on Twitch. So stick around for that if you are on Twitch, or what a great reason to jump over to view us on Twitch. You can find our link tree at driveinspeakerbox.com. You can follow us wherever it is you want to follow us, be it Facebook Live, YouTube Live, or Twitch. You can also just subscribe to this podcast wherever it is you download podcasts, like Spotify or Amazon or Apple Music, whatever it is. I don't know. Is Google Music thing still a thing? I don't know. I have no idea. We're on iHeart.
Turned into YouTube Music.
We're on iHeartRadio too, I think. I don't know. I just upload it and it goes to all the places. So like, subscribe, and follow, and shout outs to Corbell Brandy for making this show possible. So yeah, exactly. So we're gonna get out of here. Any parting words, Jake?
Not this week. I don't know.
All right. Well, we'll be back next week. I'm gonna talk about The Crow. Go see Alien. Do the things.
Wow! Don't listen to Velvet Santa.
Yeah, don't do that.
As you leave the theater, folks, please be careful. Don't let this happen to your car. Be sure to remove the speaker before you leave. If you should accidentally pull a speaker loose, please turn it in at our snack bar or box office. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Where's the button? There it is. Okay. So Jake's over here, like, debating whether or not he needs to, like, list. Like, get your phone out. Get your phone out. Let's, like...
Well...
So, let's frame it a little bit.
No.
Like, tell him what's going on.
Well, I was just showing Bo here how the Deadpool video game...
He has a copy of the Deadpool video game on, what was it, Xbox 360?
Yeah.
Like, here we go. Where's the phone?
Dude, but some people are listing this for $80,000. It was in the news the other day. Someone had it listed for, like, I think it was like $45,000 as a joke or something, and then now, yeah, 80. But also right there, people are doing it for much more reasonable prices. You know, they have them listed for much lower. So
well, put it up there for like $1,000.
Yeah, it was big news here in the last week or two.
Put it up for $1,000. Put it up now while the iron's hot. Strike. Get the $1,000. Get that money, dude.
I got to get my 360 back from my brother because I never
Who fucking cares? You know where it is. Just take a screenshot and then like put it up there. Be like $1,000 homies.
I never finished the game. I guess I could sell it and then beat it and then ship it.
All right. Well, this is the last ones. Velvet Santa says he's like Vanessa Williams because he saved the best for last. So, giving you J6. This is B6. We're going to open up the last of the VHS packets that Velvet Santa sent us for gift time. So
we're opening these. Dina said she's really into skateboarding, and Jason Lee. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that he used to be a skateboarder.
Just out there vibing.
Yeah, he's done all sorts of things.
I have. These aren't even related at all. These are just movies. I got the shitty, like, what year did this come out? The 1998 like Godzilla.
Oh, but look at the texture front.
Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. You can see the light,
dude.
Because he's a salamander. He's not a Godzilla.
Too fast. No, he's a sea iguana.
Godzilla is back, bigger and much better than ever. Its size defies comprehension. An expertly designed theme park ride of a movie that packs nonstop thrills, one jaw-dropping scene after another. The film never loses the momentum on its human scale. Kevin Thomas, Los Angeles Times. Shut the fuck up, Kevin.
I like that the box art for Too Fast, Too Furious is like the really bad CGI jump scene where they launch off the bridge. What a sick movie.
Beelzebubba Ding Dong says, hey, speaking of soundtracks, this one has Puffy rapping to Zeppelin's like, bum, 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 bum. Yeah.
Jimmy Page played guitar on that for me. He's in the music video.
Is he really?
Yeah. He's in like a building just like playing guitar.
Yeah. Godzilla and Fast and the Furious. I mean, that checks out.
Too fast, too furious.
Now an ex-cop on the run, Brian O'Connor, now totally dead, hooks into an outlaw street racing.
Yeah, and he scores a sick R34 GTR V-Spec 2.
Pow wowka. Dude, I like how Tyrese gets top billing here. Like, Tyrese has to be, like, mad about the trajectory of Fast and the Furious at this point. Because, like, at one point he was here, and now he's, like, they're probably, like, down here.
Well, this was on the sequel that Vin Diesel didn't want anything to do with. You know, it was, like, the movie, they're like, well, let's see if we can keep this going. And it was, like, fair, and then they just left it alone until they did the reboot but not reboot with Tokyo Drift, and then that's where it took
never
off.
Died.
Yeah, let's not talk about the new ones where they ruin all the good times.
It's all ruining the good times. Well, thank you, Velvet Santa. We've come to the conclusion of our VHS gift journey. We thank you for that. I do have a bunch of VHSs to return in your favor, like as a return gift that were gifted to me. There we go. I had to approve a comment from Beelzebub Ding Dong because it was sex-based. It's a resort porn. God, like, the internet's so sensitive. We can't say porn in a comment? Like, that's weird.
How were we supposed to talk about that? That movie that I was with Simon Rex.
Debbie Does Dallas. How are we supposed to talk about that? Red Rocket?
Yeah.
See, now we can say it. Velvet Santa can say porn, porn, porn. Yeah. What is the Avenue Q song? The internet is for porn. The internet is for porn. Do you know Avenue Q? That was like the Sesame Street Muppets on Broadway that was rated R. It's pretty good. I saw it live. What are you looking at over there?
All of these horror, Toonie horrors. Where?
My house.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, I'm kind of homeless right now, so I had to pack up a lot of my stuff out of my house, and I brought it up here, and there it is. Beelzebub Ding Dong. So I'm a pioneer for the chat. Yeah, there you go. Nice. Thanks for talking about porn. No, I mean, I love Joel, but nah, that sounds like a terrible time. Joel smells, and he has a baby. I remember what it was like living with Joel back when at the Swallow House. Like, I love Joel to death, but nah, I got plenty of places to stay. Now I sound like an asshole. I need to reach out to Joel. He let me borrow some socks one time. I was on a quest for trying to recreate these socks that Scion did. They were the most comfortable socks on the planet. They were called Scion socks. And Toyota was sponsoring a whole lot of like weird indie music shows with Scion. And then they would give everybody socks to like as giveaways, and they truly were the most comfortable socks I've ever. To this day, they're the most comfortable socks. And so I asked Joel, I was like, I want to recreate these socks. And now that I'm like a captain of industry, I'm like, I'm gonna see if I can't figure out who the manufacturer of these socks were. So I got on the phone, I called some people. I shook down a. You're like, fuck this.
No, it's just.
I shook down a person. And that used to work for Toyota about that time, and we got pretty close to figuring out where the actual source of the Scion socks went, but hit a dead end, and there we have it. So I still have not been able to recreate the Scion socks. So
maybe they're on eBay for $80,000.
Actually, hang on, let's take a look. Let's see. Let me pull up my eBay.com. And let's see if we can find some Scion socks. No. like you could get them at like raves and concerts and shit. They're not on eBay, but hang on, check it out. Scion socks. There is on Vice did an article, The Oral History of Scion Socks. And this was published in 2013. So in 2014, the Scion Motor Company began to embed itself in the American DJ community. It started with hip-hop shows, presumably the obvious choice for a car company aimed at the Pimp My Ride demographic. But due to collapsing genre boundaries, Scion ended up deeply invested in dance music. It laid the groundwork for the music's current prominence with working with labels like Fool's Gold, Mad Decent, Trouble and Bass, Dim Mak, and Smog. And if Merle is still in the chat, he will know that Fool's Gold and Mad Decent were people like that we fucking knew, right? This is super weird. But they brought prominent DJs on tour to secondary markets and bankrolled smaller parties across the country. An entire generation of DJs, which I was one of, from hotspots like Diplo, who I met, and he gave me his mixtape in New York before he became like big, to small timers like this guy who wrote this article, got a boost from Scion. They gave out money, exposure, and promotional juice. But most importantly, they gave out Scion socks. And these fucking things, and I contacted one of these guys in this article because he was a friend of a friend. And I was like, I gotta I gotta find the manufacturer of these socks because they are the best socks ever. They're so incredible. They're so fucking comfortable. And Joel had a pair of these. And I was like, Joel, I'm trying to recreate Scion socks because I'm trying to go into the sock business. I need more passive income, right? And I'm like, do you still have your pair? I need to take these to like a textile analyst and be like, I need to take them to the John Hammond of socks and be like, can we get this sock DNA?
Clone my socks.
Clone these socks. And like, just welcome to Jurassic Socks. And that was my goal. And then Joel gave me these socks, and I have them still, but I've still not been able to find the Dr. Hammond of socks to be like, we can recreate this. Yeah, it was crazy. Merle, I'll have to let you take these socks on a trial run because they're fucking incredible. But yeah, check out that Vice article about the history of Scion socks. I mean, they're a real thing. Like they're really fucking great socks. Like, I'm not kidding you. They're so good. Anyway, what a blast from the past. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, we're done, I guess. Night Owl, she says, I hate almost all socks. So very intrigued. Yeah, these socks were incredible. So, all right, guys. Well, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in. He's got to get to work.
Yeah.
I got to go, I don't know, eat a hamburger. So, bye.
See ya.